Hey, welcome back. So this is week 2 of my no-code app development developer diary. We've got a lot of exciting stuff to go through this week, and we've had a lot of developments in terms of making the process far faster than I expected initially. So yeah, really looking forward to going through it. I'm still learning a lot of stuff every day, but a lot of it is bouncing off my head because I don't really know much about coding. So there's a lot of learning going on in that front as well, and even more stuff that I'm just not getting, but that's all right. We're going to keep with it, and we'll see what we got through this week. So starting off, the code that I had requested from Fiverr, it's still in the works. Unfortunately, the individual who was helping me with it on Fiverr has been delayed in some areas, which is fine. We've got other stuff to go on with. But yes, that has not come through in the way that I was hoping for. There are some refinements going on, but hopefully in the next couple of days it will come through in exactly the way that I was hoping initially. Having said that, there's been another couple of developments this week that mean that potentially I may not even need that code. So I'll get to that in a little bit. Next, I started learning about APIs, and obviously since I have no coding background, I didn't really know anything about this at the start. So I was learning more and more about that. And the more that I learned about it, the more excited I got. And eventually I ended up finding a platform called Buildship, and I went and looked through some of the functions that they offer, watched some of their tutorial videos, and I was sort of blown away by the potential there. So I think that there are some crazy interactions that can go into my app in particular. So for example, one of the things that I'm most excited about is their AI integrations and their ability to put AI assistance into your applications. So I'm really looking to harness that and put an AI assistant into Foundations to help people find the products they're looking for. So that's super exciting. Definitely more to learn there, but yeah, throughout the week I was going through it, watching more of their tutorials and figuring out what sort of functions I could put into the app. So as time went on, I was consuming more and more content from Buildship and trying to understand how it works, but I was having a difficult time finding a jump-in point, so somewhere that I could actually start messing around with it. Because, when you understand one part of something but not another part, you can use the bits that you understand to help you figure out the bits that you don't understand. But when you don't understand any of it, it's a little bit more difficult. So I switched my focus up partway through the week after working on, trying to understand Buildship for a bit. And I started looking into more stuff on APIs, REST API calls, understanding how that infrastructure works. And I think that has been very beneficial for understanding how all the pieces fit together, and as a result, how each of them needs to work and what each of them needs to provide. While all this is still going on, I was also learning more about code and proxies to run that code, and I came across various services that help you run those proxies. And the more that I learned about it, the more I realized, these services are actually much cheaper than I thought they were, and also capable of doing much more than I thought they were. So in the end, I decided that I would set up calls with some of the sales teams for these products and see, if they were able to help out with what I was looking for. So one of these services that I met with was called Appify, and I was very impressed by what they had to offer when I was being taken through sort of the onboarding/sales process. And what I figured out from that call, which was about 40 minutes, was that they sort of offer these web scraping services, but more than that, they can help you build code. They sort of have an accounts management type thing. So, you have somebody who can help you manage your operation, and they're much cheaper than I thought they would be. So in the end, I said, cool, let's get a quote from your proper technical sales team, and we'll see how much it costs to set up the account, run the account for as often as I want it for the application, and also, most importantly, set up the code. Now, I think that the accounts management and the operational costs are fair enough. We went through those briefly on the call, and I think they were really manageable compared to what I was expecting. But I think for me, the most important thing that's still outstanding is I don't know what the upfront cost is going to be around that code generation. If that is something that's really reasonable, then I think it's like a slam dunk. Like, I can do this for all the sites that I want to do. It's a massive jump ahead from how quickly I thought I was going to be able to get to completing this application, if that's the case. But they're coming back to me this week with the estimated cost, and yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. Lastly, because I'm still having issues with BuildShip, and this is coming up to being the most recent thing that I've been looking at, I've even been watching them build things live, but it's still just not sort of clicking for me. And I think, as I mentioned before, it's probably to do with some of that lack of technical knowledge and not understanding any of the parts that fit together. So what I'm trying to do is hire somebody. So there are websites, and I think it's connected to the main BuildShip website. You can hire people to essentially build it for you in BuildShip. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to do it myself so that I can then teach other people how to do it. So I'm trying to hire somebody to teach me how all the pieces fit together, and hopefully if I can understand it, then I can put together a guide for how to do it yourself and I can teach it. I really feel like I just need a couple of, oh, this is how this works actually, or no, this bit fits into this bit, moments to really understand how it functions, and then I can start playing around with it and figure out a lot of things for myself. What's on the agenda for the coming week? So I think that if this BuildShip thing pans out and I'm able to figure out how it works a bit better, and also if Appify or some other service is able to provide the code and run it at an affordable price, then, as I said before, it sort of feels like a slam dunk, like, oh my god, we're so much closer to the end goal than I thought. And when it sort of clicked for me during that call that I had with the Appify team of like, oh, this is doable and affordable. I think for me, if both of those things come together and I can understand BuildShip and I can get Appify to run a lot of the web scraping stuff that I need, then yeah, we're like a massive leap closer to the end goal than we were at the start of this week. So my next week, I think, will be focused on trying to make that a reality. And yeah, if we can make it a reality, then it will just be a matter of figuring out some of the intricacies around Firebase. I think there's still a bit to do there, but some of the Firebase guides that I've seen, they seem to be a bit more well-defined because it's a Google product. So, there's a big ecosystem there. But yeah, if those two things come together and I'm able to figure out Firebase, then it seems like we're running towards the finish line. I don't want to jinx anything, but that's certainly how it seems at this point. But I almost can't believe how quickly things are going, considering that I thought this was going to be a year-long project. And I think that it certainly will be, and I think it will be longer than years in terms of, obviously running it and building out the ecosystem around teaching it. But in terms of actually building the application, I thought it was going to be at least a 6-month, 9, 12-month job with how much technical stuff there would be to understand and integrate. But really, things are moving so quickly that I'm kind of astonished. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back with more updates throughout the week this week. Hopefully next week's recap will be me crushing it with all of these objectives, and we'll be really far along in developing the app compared to where I thought it was going to be. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one.